He is the god who ate his own mother. The spirit born of pure rage, whose bottomless hunger could not be tamed by the creators of the entire universe. Last time we walked with Panjurli, the divine protector, but in the shadows of Tulu Nadu, a different power dances, a power that is not calm and not kind. Today we face the destroyer, Guliga. Is he truly born from Lord Shiva? Did he really consume his own mother? The answer is more complex and more terrifying than you can imagine. Our story begins not with the prayer but with the spark of divine anger. Every day on Mount Kailash, goddess Parvati would offer her husband Lord Shiva sacred vibhuti, holy ash. For Shiva, this ash is a reminder that all of creation, all beauty, all power will one day end. It is the ultimate truth. But on this day, something was different. As Shiva applied the ash, his finger grazed a single tiny stone, a flaw, an imperfection. And this tiny grain broke the divine focus. When an ordinary person gets irritated, it's just a mood. But when the great destroyer gets irritated, it's a cosmic event. His anger rose and Shiva, the lord of dance, began his Rudra Tandava. The earth shook, the stars trembled. This was the dance of dissolution. In the apex of his fury, Shiva grabbed the offending ash and stone, crushed it in his palm into a round form called Guliga, and with a roar of dissatisfaction he hurled it to the ground. And from that thrown away ash, something was born out of pure anger. It was Guliga, fierce, furious, and hungry. From the very moment of his birth, Guliga was consumed by a hunger that could not be filled. He demanded food from the Lord Shiva and Parvati, but nothing was enough. His hunger was a void, a black hole of cosmic need. In desperation, Shiva sent him to Lord Narayana, the sustainer. Surely the one who provides for the entire universe could satisfy this one being also. So, Guliga went to Vaikuntha, but even there the feast never ended. Plates, mountains of food all vanished, and still Guliga starved. Narayana looked at the furious spirit and understood something. He smiled and said, "Your hunger is not for food, it is for something deeper. You will feed on ahankara, the ego and arrogance of mortals. Wherever pride festers, you will be there too. Devour it." And with this new purpose, Narayana gave him a new assignment. Now be born on the earth as the 24th child of Rakshasi Nelavulla Sanke. Nelavulla Sanke was not an ordinary demon. She carried a terrible curse. She was doomed to die at the hands of her own child. To defy this fate, she committed an unthinkable act. Each time she gave birth, she immediately killed and ate her newborn. She had already done this 23 times, but the 24th child was Guliga. And he would not wait. When Nelavulla Sanke was only 7 months pregnant, Guliga's divine hunger became unbearable. He would not wait for the normal birth. In a violent, blinding moment, he tore through his mother's right breast and emerged no bigger than a mustard seed. But as the Rakshasi stared in shock, the tiny seed began to grow and grow until a mighty giant stood before her, radiating a terrifying, furious energy. The game had changed. This time, the hunter became the hunted. Driven by that same cosmic hunger, Guliga killed his mother and consumed her. And the legend says he even killed Galibhadra Kumara, the husband of Nelavulla Sanke. And after that, he played with his bones like they were nothing more than toys. A terrifying divine madness. The curse was fulfilled. But even this did not satisfy his hunger. He drank an entire river dry. He was becoming a threat to all existence. Lord Narayana appeared, trying to calm the raging spirit. He offered a camel, a horse, an elephant. Guliga devoured them all in an instant. Nothing worked. The universe itself was in danger. Seeing no other way, Narayana, the sustainer, offered Guliga his own right hand little finger. Guliga latched onto the god's little finger and began to drink. Guliga was draining the life force of creation itself. Just as Narayana began to fade, goddess Lakshmi, his consort, appeared and she saw her lord. Gently she reached out, pulled the finger from the Guliga's mouth, and in its place she put a single sacred flower from her braid. The moment the flower touched him, the rage stopped, the fire in his eyes softened, infinite hunger was finally gone. The divine feminine, the symbol of prosperity and life, had balanced the masculine fury of destruction. And she said one day she would meet Guliga again when she descended to the earth in the form of Navadurga through the Jalamarga, the sacred path of water. With his hunger finally sated, Guliga descended to earth. Legend says he first came to a place called Kattalakana. Later, when he arrived in Tulu Nadu, the same sacred land protected by Panjurli, when the two great Daivas met, they clashed. A fierce battle began, the protector versus the destroyer. But just as you see in the climax of Kantara, a third force intervened. The divine mother Chamundi appeared and stopped their fight. She gave them their sacred duty. You will not fight, she declared. You will rule together. Panjurli, you will be the protector. You will guard those who live with Dharma, with goodness. And Guliga, you will be the destroyer of Adharma. And that is the balance of Tulu Nadu. One god Panjurli to protect the righteous and the other Guliga to devour the weak. For Guliga's eternal hunger, those who live by ego and evil become his food. Guliga is the divine embodiment of Shiva's destructive power. He is the terrifying necessary force that balances creation. He is the reminder that ego, arrogance, and evil will, in the end, always be consumed. So, what did you feel hearing the story of Guliga? Let me know in the comments below. And if these divine legends resonate with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We have many more stories to tell. Thank you for watching.